And hello to all my Virgo friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'm going to be doing your free psychic tarot reading for July of 2021. Today they have dialed up a Celtic cross spread for you. It is the same one that we did in June. It is a big spread, a lot of information, usually about one area or one topic, but it can spread out from there and be about other things as well. They have also dialed up a couple angel divination cards that we will end the reading with. So that is extra that we did not do last month. So a lot of Virgos may need a little extra guidance or push in a certain direction. So I'm excited to get into it and see what we have because I am also a Virgo. So let's see what we got. Let's bring you in. Hit that like button and build up the energy in here, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do now are my ritual cuts the deck into thirds, and then puts them back together in a different order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot, and it's the same procedure that I would do if you were here getting a private reading from me. Everything is exactly the same. And then they're ready to run, so let's go ahead and do that. Celtic Cross Virgo. Now let's see if we have it on the screen. Pretty close. Okay, it's a little messy because the camera is wide, but here we have 7, 8, 9, and 10 running up the sides. Here is your main Celtic cross. Right there. Okay, let's get to work. Back to the wide angle here. And now I'm going to make some more room for myself so I can see this a little more clearly. To begin, they talk about very, very busy right now. Very busy right now. In July. Super busy. Things are just all over the place, very active. There is no more rest and relaxation for a lot of you. It is just a really active time for a lot of Virgos right now. A lot of you are crossed with another man. Stop doing that. Are crossed with a king, it's showing. So a lot of you, I'm going to read it both the literal and the figurative definition of it. So a lot of you are dealing with an emotional baggage or an emotional relationship with a man or with a dominant person. When I say man, it usually is more dominant. So it could also be a dominant female as well. But they say that you're crossed with that, so that's obviously on the forefront of your mind. It's something that has troubled you or worried you, probably like a relationship type thing. Obviously, if you're single, this probably wouldn't apply as much. Now, let me give you the other version of that card in case that didn't make any sense. The energy definition is saying that you really need to take authority of your emotional health this month. So they're saying that you have a tendency to kind of let others dictate your love for you instead of doing it yourself. And there can even be a flow of both of these definitions working together if that's your situation. They say that you really need to kind of get this love thing under control so that so you can end up attracting what you want, whether you're single or in a relationship. Because even if you're in a relationship, a marriage, etc., you still are attracting what is coming into your future in your relationship together. So it's important to keep that emotional balance in check and also not let the other person have all the control. That's what comes up. They really want you to start doing that yourself or keeping the control for yourself. Let's go to this one. The past position. They show you're coming out of some unsuccesses or failures, small failures usually. It's you're coming out of an emotional turbulence or funk or just something where your cup seems to have poured out and your cup in this case, or in tarot in general, are your emotions. So it's an emotional kind of setback that you're coming out of right now. It's a better position to see that you're coming out of it versus going into it. So that kind of goes back to our front card. Just make sure your emotions, your emotional health is good. It is a recurring theme at this point, so really just kind of check in on that. Okay, near future. Bad credit comes up here. Be really careful what you spend your money on. This may be something in July. It may already be too late and you're just experiencing the bad credit of it. So it may be a karmic carryover from a purchase before, or just a purchase that didn't pan out, or an investment that lost money, something like that. Something is losing value, or just bad credit comes up in general. So the advice that I can give you, since it's kind of a vague definition and it's going to affect everybody differently, is that really be careful about any purchases that are depreciating assets. Like, be careful about buying cars. Houses, maybe not so much because they usually go up in value, but anything that is risky financially, definitely don't do it in July. Definitely. And since that one's so all over the board, for all the Virgos, there's so many Virgos tuning in and watching this. This is a general reading, so we're talking about the big bubble of all the Virgos. If you're looking for a specific private reading just for yourself, I do offer those on my website, scottsagent.com. When we move into the above position, this is talking about something that you're already aware of. And it's kind of an interesting mix because they talk about theft and loss. So they're saying that a lot of you are aware that you're almost kind of like stealing ideas or using other people's ideas. May also be a physical thing, but usually swords is a more of a mental thing. So that's why I bring it up in ideas. But there's an aspect of theft and loss that's coming up that's saying you're well aware of it. So it could just be financial setbacks as well, or sharing in ways that you maybe didn't expect to. Having to lend some family members money, or your time or your energy can come up. Not much else to say there. Now, the under position is always very fascinating to me because now they're talking about something that you're not aware of at all. This is something brand new to you that you don't know. And it is fast traveling news comes to you in July. Extremely fast. It's the fastest card in the deck. In this case, they're saying it's going to be a little bit binding, a little bit constrictive, and wrap you up a little bit. So it probably not the best news. It's probably not like, yay, I won on a lottery scratch off. It's more like, it is that speed though. The same speed where it's just like an instant, like, oh, here's the news. So it could be like a phone call, with, some bad news, or just something that happens like pretty quick, pretty suddenly, and it's fast traveling news that you just had no idea of, and you had no way of knowing that it was coming. So there's nothing we can do about it right now, except to kind of just forewarn you that when it comes, just be like, oh, okay, well, here it is, and here it must be. So you just have to deal with it at the time. So that's the main cross. Now as we run up the side, a lot of you Virgos are dealing with some version of heartbreak. Heartbreak comes up. Thankfully, it's the minor kind of heartbreak. It's not like the major, huge, devastating loss. It's more like a notch down. So it could be like the loss of a pet or the loss of a job, something that like still isn't great and it still kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. And it shows that you're coming out of this heartbreak well, it could be emotional, but it usually comes up more as a mental kind of construct. So you're moving out of this mental imprisonment in the situation or the circumstance. You're moving out of that. The best advice I can give you is to, you lived it, you experienced it, and feel it very deeply. Pay it its respect, pay it its time. Be grateful for the lessons that it taught you, and then let it go. Move on from it. So then, External influences. They show that there's like a big fight going on around you. I'm going to present this in a few different ways because it's pretty deep, really. A lot of this is going to be a spiritual fight around you, a very big spiritual fight between the forces of good and evil, either, going on behind the scenes in an etheric level, in a spiritual angel level, stuff that you don't necessarily see going on. So there's going to be a lot of, the way that you're going to experience it is a lot of kind of confusion, or kind of like they always show you your conscious, like the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. So you're going to feel like the effects and the pull from both sides as this battle is fought. And it may also be a physical battle, so you may just be around a lot of like chaos right now, a lot of turbulence that really affects the way that you view things in your mindset. Your mindset comes up with it. So try to find peace in the moments that you can find peace. Make sure you have enough balance in your life so that you can get away from the chaos and not be totally like subject to it, so that you have your time in it, but you also have your time away from it. And that can come up differently for everybody. But the correlation, the bottom line message is just that, is just make sure that you have that balance from the busy, chaos, and the peace. Hopes and fears. They show that you have a fear of either abandonment or bankruptcy. Like this can come up as a financial fear. You fear that maybe you're not going to make it doing what you're doing, or that you're going to have to get another job or do something differently. You may feel a little isolated right now financially, or just isolated in general. You might feel a little bit alone. The card represents bankruptcy and abandonment. It doesn't mean that those are the only descriptors of it. Again, we're just looking for the context of how it fits into your life. And obviously that's not a hope, so that would fall into fear. So when that's coming up, they want you to overcome your thought process. And I did talk about that earlier too. They really want you to overcome your mental imprisonment in this ability that you have to kind of limit yourself in your own head. It's an illusion. It's not real, is what they're saying. The end result is that there is, for a lot of you Virgos, there is a big money move positively in the near future. It's not going to be here in July. They're letting us know that now. So this is something hopefully in August, but it may be later than that as well. It's saying big money, but not now. The timing's not there. So I don't know if this is related to projects you're working on, or a different job you may get, or raises and stuff like that, or an inheritance, or different for everybody, right? But what they're talking about, the general sense of it, is that it's not here now. It's coming in blocked. But there is big money showing up on the horizon. It's just not here now. So that makes me want to segue into the moon cycles. The moon cycles are very important to kind of use as a guide. And it's very easy because they're the same setup as they were in June. We have July 10th, the new moon. That's when you want to bring something into your life that you want to attract. The full moon, July 24th, the end of the month. That's when you want to get something out of your life that you don't want anymore and you don't want to carry with you, such as that heartbreak, that whatever that sharp stinging from the carryover is, something like that. Make sure you get that out by the end of the month. And then something to attract with the new moon. So that emotional fulfillment that they say to work on, or that you need an adjustment on. Perfect to work on at the beginning of the month when you want to bring something into your life. Let's get into the angel divination cards now that I've done the rest of those. Clairsentience. Okay. There's a lot of lessons being repeated for a lot of you, so pay attention to how you feel about it. Again, we're talking about emotions again. So be very aware of your feelings toward things. You're going to be feeling very deeply in July. You're very sensitive in July. That's what this is all about. They're also saying that you're guided and you have divine guidance. You're never alone. You have all the tools that you need, and anything that you would be missing, for example, they're going to step up and help you out with that. You're not going to have to worry about it. The other thing that we're talking about here is teaching and learning. A lot of you, I feel like I just said this last month for you Virgos, but a lot of you are really good at teaching. A lot of good at teaching. And for the ones who are not, the other side of that is learning. So learn something from somebody who does teach. So you get both sides of the coin is what they're saying here. So whichever one falls under, how we're describing your context of your life. If you are a learner, go learn more from somebody who knows more than you. If you're teaching, share that knowledge. Share it, whatever that way is. If you're a writer, write. If you're a musician, play, teach. Spread it. Spread the love. Put it out there. That's what it's all about. So there is the angel guidance cards. The last thing I want to tell you guys about is the promotion for July, because I'm offering a personal private reading absolutely free. The promotion for July. It is called a My Month reading. It is just your month. It gets rid of the entire Virgo bubble and it looks just at your energy, so it's extremely, extremely accurate. All you have to do to get that is to sign up for the email on the website, scottsagent.com. You put in your first name, first initial, email address, and I think your date of birth. That's it. Very simple. You send that off within a couple days. I will email you back your My Month, and it's specific to you. It's incredibly accurate. There's a promo video on it. The link is in the description. Everything I talk about in the reading is in the description. I do a good job of making it easy for you guys. Check that out. It is monumental. It is mind-blowing, and you can't beat free ever, and it is absolutely something you should take advantage of during July. So that's what I have for your general reading for July. My name is Scott Sagent. I hope you all have a happy 4th of July. Please remember to hit the subscribe button so that you can see the future stuff that we are releasing and see the videos each month. So, at that, I bid you farewell, and I'll see you in August.